Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Rotoballer Radio Waiver Wire Series. I'm your host, Anthony Aniano. Happy to be with you here as we take a look at the waiver wire for Week 5 of your fantasy football season, taking a look at the quarterback position. And at number 5, I kind of split it, right? We have a 5A and a 5B with different needs. If you're looking for short-term starters, some type of help next week at the quarterback position, Teddy Bridgewater of the Miami Dolphins. If you're looking for a rest of season maybe add some bench depth, at number 5 on my list, Zach Wilson of the New York Jets. Zach Wilson goes 252, a touchdown, 2 interceptions, caught a touchdown on a little trick play there from Braxton Berrios, I believe it was. So a little trick play, 20.8 fantasy points. They go against each other next week, do the Jets and the Dolphins. Zach Wilson, 10% rostered on Yahoo. Now, Teddy Bridgewater, he'll be quarterbacking the Dolphins as long as Tua is out. Good matchup next week against the Jets secondary, and it's tough to ignore a quarterback who gets to throw to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. So short-term gain, Teddy Bridgewater. Love him in a 2 QB format for next week against the New York Jets. At number 4, Jacoby Brissett of the Cleveland Browns, 7% rostered. He's got 3 games this season of at least 15 fantasy points. Ran for a touchdown in Week 4, threw for 234 yards on 35 attempts, and had finished with 15 fantasy points. Goes against the Chargers in Week 5. At number 3, Kenny Pickett got into the game. He took over for Trubisky with Pittsburgh. I expect him to keep the job. Have him at number 3. He's an upside rest of the season play. Did throw 3 interceptions. One of them was on the Hail Mary, though, at the end of the game. Did run for a couple of touchdowns as well. Tough matchup, though. Tough to use him next week against the Buffalo Bills. At number 2, and I've been talking about him and talking about him. I know he's not winning games, but he's putting up fantasy points, and that's Matt Ryan at 33% rostered. 356 yards this week, 2 more touchdowns. He's got 3 games of at least 20 fantasy points. All of these numbers, by the way, in 6-point per touchdown formats. Finished with 26.8 in a 6-point per touchdown format. Goes up against Denver, who gave up some points to the Vegas Raiders in Week 4. And my number 1 quarterback ad of the week, it's time to pay attention to Geno Smith in Seattle. Only 10% rostered. He's got 6 touchdowns on the season now. He's got 300 passing yards in each of the last 2 games. This week, he goes 23 of 30, 2 touchdowns, runs 5 for 51, and another touchdown, 35.9 fantasy points. He took advantage of the Detroit Lions defense. Jared Goff had a monster game. Can't mention him. He's already over 60% rostered. Okay, but Geno Smith throwing to DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, made Will Disley one of the top ads at the tight end position. Okay, Seattle offense looked terrific. Goes up against the Saints next week in Week 5. All right, so to recap, 5A, 5B, that's Teddy Bridgewater, Zach Wilson, depending on your need, short-term, long-term. Both of them at less than 10% rostered. At number 4, 7% rostered, Jacoby Brissett of the Cleveland Browns. At number 3, the rookie, Kenny Pickett of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's only 5% rostered. Number 2, the veteran Matt Ryan, 33% rostered. And the number 1 quarterback ad for Week 5 of your fantasy season is Geno Smith at only 12% rostered. Folks, if you're looking for more great waiver wire content, stay right here on Rotoballer's YouTube channel or go to rotoballer.com right now for all sorts of waiver wires content. Don't forget to sign up for the Premium Pass using the promotional code ACES. Let them know I sent you. Give me a follow on Twitter at @AnianoFantasy. All right, good luck working the waiver wire. We'll see you next time. Have a good one, folks.